Roughnecks, this is not about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about being powerful, and power comes from responsibility. Own your story, own your grind, own your impact, because the moment you do, you stop being a passenger and you start driving your life.
You are now tuning in to the Roughnecks Podcast with your host, Cole Nixon. Much love.
All right, now we're back. What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Roughnecks Podcast. We are back after our 5-part series. We had to take the break for the Charlie Kirk episode, which I won't get into more right now. Eventually, it'll probably come up on another episode, but right now we're just going to leave that as is. Yeah. But, sorry, I just had a blank. Like, I completely blanked, and I have a script in front of me. Not word for word, but, you guys know how I am with my scripts. But if you've been riding with me, you know that we've been going on this little journey, 5-part episodes, or 5-episode series, whatever you want to call it. The first, we talked about laziness, then we talked about discipline, and in my opinion, discipline equals freedom. That is from Jocko. That is not my words. And it's true. I mean, if you're disciplined, it creates more freedom. And we talked about the hustle culture and everything like that. And, and it's not about working 24/7. That's not what discipline means. It means doing what you need to do when it needs done and not procrastinating. I'm guilty of procrastinating. I do it a lot. But today we are talking about something that separates the leaders from the followers. Ownership. Not the kind that you sign papers for. I'm not talking about, that house contract, that car, whatever it is. I'm talking about owning your life, your choices, your failures, your wins, all of it. Because if you don't own it, you can't change it. Let's break it down a little bit. Ownership is not about perfection. Once again, ownership is not about perfection. It's about accountability. I'm saying it's saying that I am responsible for how I show up. Even when things go sideways, even when someone else drops the ball, which is, all of that's going to happen, you still own your response, your attitude, your next move. Grab the bull by the horns, baby. I mean, that's the whole slogan of this podcast, and I don't know if I fully talked about where that comes from. The grab the bull by the horns, if you don't know the slogan of this podcast, it's kind of slogan, I don't know. We have a little saying that we do at the end of episodes and everything, and it's, life is hard, and it's going to knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let that bull of life walk all over you. Get up, grab the bull by the horns, and take control of your life. Now, where did that quote kind of stem from? I still have a poster today. It hangs in the studio. I don't know if you can ever really see it on any of the videos because it's kind of up high in the corner. I may need to lower it a little bit or put it right here beside me or something. I don't know. And it's a poster that I got in college. I was kind of going through a weird time mentally. I wasn't in the best headspace. It was a deep, dark time for me. A lot of growth happened in that time, but I ordered this poster off Amazon because I had watched a movie, the Rocky movie, which it was probably the 100th time I've seen it. And I ordered this poster, and it was the Rocky quote that a lot of you may know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, I got that poster, I think, before the podcast even existed. Definitely before, because that would have been sophomore year. Junior year, me and Teddy started Fanspeak. Senior year, we got rid of Fanspeak, and then we went on to do the Roughnecks. And I got that poster before the podcast even existed, and it had hung in my room and every year. And that's kind of where, when we started the Roughnecks podcast, I wanted a slogan for it. And that's kind of where it came from, because the whole idea with the grab the bull by the horns is the bull is what we call life. And we're trying to ride that thing. And sometimes you're going to get knocked off. That bull's going to buck you off. You just got to get up and grab that thing by the horns. Grab the bowl of life by the horns. Take control of it and own your own life. That's where it comes from. Here's another example. Think about a team sport, volleyball, football, whatever it might be. You might not be the one who missed the block or dropped the pass. But if you're on the team, you own the result. Think about it. The kicker misses the game-winning kick. It's not on the kicker completely. I know a lot of you out there like to say, oh, the kicker cost us that game. But if you really go back and look at it, how many interceptions did the quarterback throw? How many fumbles did we have? How many touchdowns did the defense give up? Stuff like that. It's a team effort. That's what can build trust, is when you own the result. That's what builds the culture. Let's be real, though. Blame is easy. It's comfortable. It lets you off the hook, but there's a problem. Blame keeps you stuck. It's like putting your life in someone else's hands and hoping they steer it right. Do you really want to be the passenger in a vehicle of your own life? Hoping that they're going to do what you got to do? That's like sitting there in the driver's seat, because you're the driver. You have no control over the gas or the steering wheel. People are reaching in trying to do it for you. That's not fun. I don't want to do that. It's like putting your life in someone else's hands. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my life to be controlled by others. I want to own my life. You ever hear someone say, I'd be successful if my boss wasn't a jerk, if I had more time, if I didn't grow up the way I did? All I hear are excuses. I'm not saying that those things don't matter, because they do play a part. But I'm saying is you can't wait for perfect. There are no such thing as perfect conditions. There's no perfect time to start. You might get lucky and start at the absolute best time. But the best thing to do is just start. You can't wait for the perfect conditions to take control. You've got to own the grind in the middle of the storm. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own journey. Think about the podcast, think about Nixon Productions, my business that I have. When I started both of them, I didn't have a roadmap. My business, I undercharged, I overbooked. I made these mistakes that I'm still making mistakes because I'm still learning. I take ownership of that. Well, it's really easy to take ownership of that, because guess what? I'm the only one in this business. Now, I could come up with excuses of, oh, I had to drop my price because they wouldn't pay. That's not your problem. Take ownership of what you can do. I could blame the market. I could blame all kinds of things, but that wouldn't have helped. That's not going to help me grow. So I own it. I learn. I adjust. I do things a lot better now. And, I went through the same type of stuff with the volleyball tournament that I did, the podcast and production. They all go together because, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be logistical things. There's going to, I had sponsorship things that I had to go through with the volleyball tournament. Weather's always a factor. There's all these things that essentially you can't control, but you do the best that you can, and you take ownership of the results because you're the one that kind of controls that. And, something that you always have to do is, what can I do better? What can I fix? How do I fix this? Or, hey, it went good, but how can I make it great? Hey, it went great. How can I make it perfect? Me and Dante sit there every year at the volleyball tournament. It's usually sitting at a table, and we go, all right, what do we do next year? Do we keep this? Do we get rid of this? How do we expand on this? Do we like this? We ask people too. I ask people all the time, hey, what'd you think of this? The coolers become a big hit. You got to take ownership, because if you take ownership, that's leadership in a way. But let's get practical. How do you build ownership in your life? I got 4 things for you. Start with your language. Stop saying, I have to, and start saying, I choose to. That shift alone can change your mindset. I know it's cheesy, it's cliche, but guys, it helps. It really does. That little bit. You don't have to make it a big deal. People might laugh at you, but don't make it a big deal. You don't have to if you don't want to. Alarm's going off. You just have to start saying, I choose to. I get to. I'm excited to. Make it fun. Audit your habits. Are you showing up consistently or just when it's convenient? That's kind of going back to that laziness thing that we talked about in the first episode of this series. I can't remember exactly what it was, so I'm gonna find it real quick. Rest is intentional, laziness is avoidance. Are you being intentional? Are you being consistent? Are you avoiding? Are you doing things when it's convenient for you? And then the third thing, own your relationship. If something's off, don't wait for the other person. The more and more you wait, the worse and worse it's going to get. Step up and fix it. Step up, communicate, and lead. This works in, romantic relationships, business relationships, coworkers, whatever it is, friendships. When there's an issue, we got to fix it. We can't just sit there and kind of, we'll get to that later. I don't really feel like having that conversation. Take ownership of it and take control of it. You don't have that. By take control, I don't mean like you have to lead the conversation and what you say goes. No, I mean like start the conversation. Be the one to initiate it. Own your failures. Don't hide them. Don't sugarcoat them. Learn from them. Share them. Grow them. Grow through them. Guys, it is important to own your failures. I used to be guilty of this. I'm getting better at it. It drives me nuts when people have excuses, like the million excuses, and they're like, oh, I only did this because of this, or it was this guy's fault. Quit blaming. Own your failures. It's you. Even if it's not full to you, you take ownership of that. People see that. They recognize that. I want you guys to sit right now with me. Take 30 seconds. I want you guys to pause this episode for 30 seconds and think about one area of your life where you've been deflecting responsibility. This could be romantically. This could be business, work, personal, whatever it is. Just sit with it and let it hit. Take 30 seconds. Pause this episode and think about it. Find that one thing that you've been deflecting. All right, now that you're back, here's your challenge this week. Pick one area of your life where you've been deflecting that responsibility, what you just thought about. Maybe it's your fitness, your finances, your attitude, whatever it is, it's time to own it. Take one action that says, I'm in control now. Then tell someone about it. Post it, text it, DM it. DM me, I don't care. Accountability makes ownership real. I think it's important to find an accountability partner. You can't always rely on yourself because guess what? You miss and no one has to know. But guess what? You got an accountability partner. Hey, did you go to the gym today? Hey, why aren't you coming to the gym? Hey, how are your finances? That kind of stuff. Something as with your finances, if you want to, that one action step, download Dave Ramsey, Every Dollar, set up a budget. Let's figure it out. If you're listening to this episode and it hit home, share it with a friend. Tag someone who needs to hear this. Guys, we're on this five-part journey. Let's build a community of people who won't make excuses. Let's make moves. Let me know what you guys think about these solo episodes. I'm curious. Maybe we'll do these more often. The little series of them. We'll kind of build off of each one. Just tell me what you guys think about it, and if you have any ideas for it, or if you just want me to get rid of them because you don't like them. I'm curious about it. I want to see what you guys think. But Roughnecks, this is not about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about being powerful, and power comes from responsibility. Own your story, own your grind, own your impact, because the moment you do, you stop being a passenger and you start driving your life. Thank you guys for tuning in. If this episode fires you up, leave a review, and remember, life is tough, but you're tougher. Until next time, you guys know the deal. Life is hard. It's going to knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let that bull of life walk all over you. Get up, grab the bull by the horns, and take control of your life. Roughnecks, out.